Namaste everyone. I hope you are all fine at home. Now let us see what is banking or banking services. We have seen so many service organizations, or we know the meaning of service organizations. Already you have studied. You know that banking is either directly or indirectly connected with the trade of a country and the life of each individual. Banking is also an industry that manages credit, cash, and other financial transactions. Not only that, banking does retail banking also. It does insurance business also, or insurance provides insurance banking also. Helps for the claims. Life insurance is also there in banking sectors. I mean, the services are there. Risk management here can be done there. Banking, so many banking operations are being carried out there. It provides loans and advances to small, medium, and small scale and medium scale entrepreneurs, and it provides loans to corporate sectors also, and even it provides the non-life insurance policies also. It acts as an underwriter of shares and debentures, means on behalf of any new company or any sick company, it issues shares and debentures to the public, and it collects the money from so public, and it helps the new company or sick company in the formation of capital, and even it issues credit cards. So that, yeah, these are the various services provided by banking companies. In banking, especially the commercial bank is the most influential institution for any country's economy, or for providing any credit to its customer. Now let us see in brief the meaning of banking. Banking company is responsible for transacting all the business transactions, including withdrawal of checks, payments, investments, etc. In other words, the bank is involved in the deposit and withdrawal of money, repayable on demand, savings, and earning a decent amount of profits by lending money. This is the here meaning. A banking company is responsible for transacting all the business transactions. What all business transactions are there? All the transactions are not business transactions. Only here, when buying and selling is there, or any exchange is there, then it is called a business transaction. Right? Only if you order for goods, it's not a transaction, because here both the way your exchange is not there. Both the side. It's not a transaction. So it banking includes all the business transactions, which includes the withdrawal of checks. Checks we are giving to so many people, because here it is a safer mode of payment. And we here on behalf of us, on behalf of the customer, bankers make the payment also. We can invest in banks. Even banks also invest in some companies or in some businesses. So here it does like that. Again, in other words, what we can say is banking is involved in the deposit and withdrawal of money, because people deposit money in the banks, and again they can withdraw money from the bank. And what here, whatever money we deposit, the bankers give us on our demand, unless otherwise, if the money is not demanded or our own money is not demanded, then here banker does not give. And here then savings can be done there. And over here, by doing all the activities, whatever money is deposited in the bank, it lends money to the needy people. So by lending money, it charges here some interest on the borrower. So what interest it charges on the borrowers, it is a profit for the banks. So it is an earning for the bank, right? That is what here is meaning. So bank, again what we can say, banks help us to mobilize the savings of an individual, making funds accessible to business and help them to start a new venture. Because whatever savings we do, if it is kept in the bank, sorry, at home, whatever savings we do, if it is kept at home, one thing what we face is risk it is. Yeah, somebody comes or some thieves come to home, and if it is stolen or something else will happen. Here risk of anything will threat will be there, the risk of theft will be there, so many things will be there. So better let us keep our excess money in the bank as a deposit. So many individuals keep their money as a deposit in the bank. So what here, so many people here deposit money in the bank, so then the banks can form accumulated deposit. So whatever money they receive from the individual can be invested, or can be invested big, they can make the big fund and can be invested in the some other business, and it gives a capital to the new business venture. Okay, now let us see the definition of banking. So what we can say, banking can be defined as the business activity of accepting and safeguarding money owned by other individuals and entities, and then lending out this money in order to earn profit. So banking can be defined. How we can define it is the business activity. Banking is a business activity. What a business activity of what it is? It is accepting the deposit. Not only accepting. So whatever accepted deposit is there, money is there, it is to be safeguarded. Means safety is to be provided. Is then money owned by other individuals, because money is here very much belongs to other individuals. It is to be safeguarded, and whatever money it here received from the individuals, it is here, it is to be lent to the people or lent to the business. Why it is, if only if it is kept in the bank, how the bank has to run? It also wants to earn profit, because it has to give salary, all these here rent of the premise and everything. So it also has to maintain. That's why it has to earn the profit, and it gives here small percentage of return on our investment also. So that's why whatever here accumulated fund is there, it lends to here needy people, especially with the business entrepreneurs or for some corporate sectors like that. So by that it earns the profit. This is what here is definition. But here remember, nowadays here the banking activities are not restricted to this only. They are not restricted to this only. Remember, with the passage of time, the activities covered by the banking business have widened, and now various other services are also offered by the banks. The banking services these days include the issuance of debit and credit cards, providing safe custody of valuable items, lockers, ATM services, and online transfer of funds across the country or world. So many things banks here nowadays they do. What I can say is a bank is a financial institution licensed to licensed to receive deposits and make loans. Banks may also provide financial services such as the wealth management, currency exchange, and safe deposit boxes. So all these can be here done by the banks. There are several different kinds of banks, including retail banks, commercial or corporate banks, and investment banks. All these they serve the people as well as the economy. In most countries, banks are regulated by the national government or central bank. In India, here banks are regulated by the here RBI. Remember, their banks are regulated by the RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. Yes, Reserve Bank of India. Because your banks have to be regulated, otherwise smooth functions cannot be seen. So because banks are very important part of economy, they provide vital services for both the consumers and the businesses. As a financial services provider, they give us a safe place to store our cash. That's why they are to be governed or regulated by the particular controller, that is in India, central bank is governing that, that is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Now let us see types of different types of banks. Okay, we have given here list of 7 banks. Apart from these also there are again we can classify into different types. Now let us see one by one. First, what we have written here is commercial banks. What is commercial banks here? What is the meaning here? These banks here play the most important role in modern economic organizations. Their business mainly consists of receiving deposits, giving loans, and financing the trade of a country. Finance, because trade, commercial means commerce. Trade means here business, buying and selling of a country. They provide short-term credit, that is lend money for short periods. So this is very special feature of commercial banks. Then second bank here, what we have written here is exchange banks. So in brief, let me explain now, because here everything we cannot go in detail. It's only in brief we will discuss all the banks, types of banks here. Then next one is exchange banks. You know that exchange banks are finance mostly the foreign trade of country. Remember, exchange banks finance mostly the foreign trade of country means they give money here, financial service to the foreign trade of country. Foreign trade in the sense international trade. Their main function is to discount, accept, and collect foreign bill of exchange. Foreign here bill of exchange. Then what is bill of exchange here? You know that here nowadays we cannot sell, the seller. What we will say, seller cannot sell only on cash basis. He has to sell the goods on credit basis also. So to whom you sold, the seller sold on credit basis, he is your debtor, right? He is the debtor of business. Remember, we cannot trust all the debtors. So that's why here the businesses, what they do is, instead of giving 100% debtors without any security, so then what they do is they write the bill in the name of the debtor and get it accepted by the debtor. Even just white plain paper also can be used, but it must be stamped. So such and such person has to give such and such money on or before this date. Like this bill of exchange can be written, and it can be get it accepted by the purchaser. And so it is drawer, drawee, like this will be there. Drawer is a seller, drawee is those who accept. Then once it is accepted, after the expire or after the maturity of that bill, the debtor has to make the payment, right? So that is called here bill of exchange, right? So what here we are saying here is, the main function of exchange banks is to discount. Discount means, take for example, see, you are a seller, you sold goods to some person, or X is a seller, X sold goods to Mr. Y worth rupees 3000. So the payment is not done by the Y now, it is postponed to 3 months. After 3 months only Y is going to make the payment. So the X, what now he does is, he gives, he sells goods on credit basis, and okay, after 3 months he Y makes the payment. X agreed also. But what X does here is, sometimes what will happen, who knows in future. That's why X writes the bill in the name of Y. He writes, Y has to give, after 3 months, Y has to give 3000 is worth here 3000 rupees to on or before the date. Like this, he writes the bill of exchange. Then same bill of exchange should be shown to Mr. Y. If Mr. Y accepts that, then it becomes a valid bill. So you remember what you have to keep in your mind is 3 months bill is Only after 3 months only Y is going to make the payment, because on the bill only written Mr. Y has to give rupees 3000 on or before this date. So after 3 months, but what happens here? X now only want money for to meet some urgency. Then what he has to do? Bill is not only bill; it is not a ready cash. So what he does is he goes to his banker or exchange bank, and so after he he requests bank to discount it. So discount it means, so after 3 months it the here 3000 he has to X has to receive from Y. Now 3000 rupees it must be brought to the this 3000 rupees after 3 months is brought to the this period. So that's why to certain percentage of discount will be done. Take for example 5% can be done. If it is to be done, 5% is to be done. Example it is 5% discount, because here bankers give advance money, no? That's why they discount the bill. Means discounting bill means less than the amount written in the bill they give. In the bill of exchange, what amount is written, less than that they give to the customer or here Mr. X. So take for example 5% discount is there. So 5% of 3000 comes to 150. So 150 they deduct from 3000, and they give only 2850 to the 850 to Mr. Uh, X, right? This is what here is. It is discounting, and it accepts also on behalf of the customer. It accepts the bill also, because here all foreign business and all is through banks only. So see, within the bank nowadays online banking is there. So bank to bank transactions will be there. That is why their bankers sent to this bank, this customer bank. So that's why on behalf of the customer it accepts the bill also, and collect the foreign bill of exchange also. And they also buy and sell foreign currencies also, because when we are selling our product or buying their product, either we have to make payment to them in their own currency, or if we are selling we have to get our own currency, like this. So foreign currency here, take for example, if you are purchasing goods from Japan, you cannot make payment in terms of Indian rupees. You have to make payment in terms of Japan yen. So that's why this exchange banks, it helps for the foreign currency exchange also. And like this, it helps businessmen to convert their money into any foreign money they need. And their share in the internal trade of a country is usually small. Maybe internal within the internal here business, the share of exchange bank is usually small, but most of the banks, exchange banks, they even carry on the ordinary banking business activities also. Okay, other activities it does. The bank accepting deposit and making fund and investing in other companies it does, because it also has to survive. No? That's why. The next one is industrial banks. You know that there are few industrial banks in India, but in some other countries here, especially in Germany and Japan, these industrial banks perform the function of advancing loans to industrial undertakings. Industries require capital for a long period for buying machinery and equipment. You know that because machinery equipment for a long, because here with the aim of here long life, the business are being established. That's why what machinery, what equipment they purchase is for a long period. So that's why all machinery equipments are here become capital goods. So that's why in these industrial banks, they provide capital for a long period for buying machinery and equipment. Even industrial banks provide more capital also. Industrial banks have a large capital of their own. It is also provide here. It is also provided to the industries. Even though it does like this, they also receive deposits for a longer periods from the customers. So they are in a position to advance long-term loans in India and even outside India also. In India, the central government set up an Industrial Finance Corporation of India, that is IFCI, in 1948. Remember, Industrial Finance Corporation of India in 1948 it has been established. Its activities have since then been greatly enlarged. It is extended. Further, every states have also set up state financial corporations. In Karnataka, it is KSFC is there. The central government has also established the Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, that is ICICI, and the National Industrial Development Corporation for the financing and promotion of industrial enterprises. In 1964, the Industrial Development Bank of India, that is IDBI, was established as the apex or top term lending institution. So these new institutions fill important gaps in our system of industrial finance. What you can say here is these are newly formed banks. Then fourth one is agricultural or cooperative banks. Means they are supporting agriculture, and cooperative banks also. Cooperative banks here are all these they are formed on the basis of service. So, to help the farmers and all this, agriculture and cooperative banks are established. So, the main business of agriculture banks is to provide funds to farmers. They are worked on the cooperative principle. So, cooperative principle means what? Yeah? Here, service motive there. Long-term capital is provided by land mortgage banks. Nowadays, they are called land development banks. But short-term loans are given by cooperative societies and cooperative banks. Long-term loans are needed by the farmers for purchasing land or for permanent improvements of the land. Remember, while short period loans help them in purchasing implements, fertilizers, and seeds. So banks and societies are doing useful work in India to improve the or to help the assist the farmers. The next kind of banks what we are now discussing is savings bank. These savings banks here they collect the small savings. Even commercial banks to run savings department in their banks to mobilize the savings of men of small means. Even though they are poor, even small amount they fix it, they keep in as a deposit. This nowadays this idea it has been shifted to now say post office savings banks in India. They are also doing very good job that we can see. The next one is central bank. Central bank means it is a very controlling bank or which the banks which provide guidelines to all other banks. So in India, there exist in you know that in almost all the countries central banks are existed. In India also it is there. It is usually controlled and quite often owned by the government of the country. Central bank is dominating all other banks, but central bank is governed or regulated by the here government of the country. Remember, last one is utility banks. Utility means satisfaction. So an efficient banking system is absolutely necessary for a country if it is to progress economically, right? The services that an efficient banking system can render a country are indeed very valuable. We know that. Undeveloped banking system is not only an index of economic backwardness of a country, it is also an important cause of it. The banking system can be useful in the some of the different discussions are there that we can discuss here in addition to the already what we have discussed. You know that here the banks create instrument of credit which are very convenient substitute for money nowadays. Everywhere we can hear that we have to go on or go for cashless, means in the economy cash should not be used at all. So what's up here what happens, the bankers have to issue credit cards. With the help of cards only, they come to know about their money in the bank and they can make payment. All this happens, right? Then next here is the banks increase the mobility of capital. Mobility means movement of the capital. The banks bring the borrowers and lenders together, right? Banks will makes it. They collect money from those who cannot use it. Those who don't want money to use, it collects from them and give it to those who can. Those who want money for them, it gives. So they help the movement of funds from place to place and from person to person in a very convenient and inexpensive manner. Even here, the banks they encourage the habit of providing safe channels for investment. In the absence of banking facility, people would just squander their funds. Then lastly, what you can say again, there are so many points if you want to discuss. You can refer books also if you have. Then it encourages here savings also. The banks bring about accumulation of large amount capital in the country from small individual savings. Small save here, individual savings there. Even enter here just then here people they can even deposit rupees 10 also. So all small here deposits are what being collected by the banks and here collectively they make it a big fund. And it is here it contributes for the economic development of the country by lending the same amount for the region. And the banks make the resource of the country more productive because without money we cannot manage anything. That's why yeah, money is called lifeblood of the economy. So that's why the banks contribute to the general prosperity and welfare of the country that we can see. Yes. Next we will now let us see economic role of banking sector. It means the role of banking sectors in the economy of a nation. The banking system plays an important role in the modern economic world. Banks collect the savings of the individuals and lend them out to business people and manufacturers. Bank gives loan facilities to commerce, that is trade and is to trade. So what we can say here is banks here stimulates the bank stimulates the desire to save and the and increase the volume of savings. The savings can be utilized to produce new capital assets, right? How it because manufacturers borrow from banks the money needed for the purchase of raw materials and to meet other requirements such as working capital. Here working capital means the capital required to maintain day-to-day operation of the business. It is safe to keep money in banks for us, right? Again, we can earn interest also on the bank deposit. Thus, the desire to save is stimulated because one thing we feel our money is saved there, another thing we get interest on that. So it encourages to save in the banks. When it is done, so volume of savings increase. Many people come forward to deposit in the banks. So the saved money or deposited savings deposit here money can be utilized to produce new capital assets because they can lend money to the manufacturers or any business or industry. So it becomes capital to such industries. So what we can say, the banks play an important role in the here creation of new capital or helps in the capital formation in a country and thus help the growth process of the nation. Okay. Next, what you can say here is again, banks arranges for the sale of shares and debenture. Sale means issue of shares and debentures. Here nowadays we know that here to become entrepreneurs, we those who are having skill they can start the business because nowadays startups are there. So many schemes are there, incubation centers are there, so many new aspects are coming out. So you no need to invest your own money. So many here people are coming forward to invest in the business. Where crowdfunding is there, peer-to-peer investment is there. So many types of investments are there. In that year, IPOs, issuing IPOs or shares and debentures also, the entrepreneurs or the promoters can collect money in the form of capital and can be invested same in the business. So they have to. It means to collect money from the public, they have to issue shares and debentures to the public, right? So usually the new company or C company, they directly cannot issue shares and debentures to the public because people don't believe in them. Yeah, people don't identify the or public don't identify the newcomers or C companies. That's why these new companies and C companies they take the help of the banks. What banks do here is they on behalf of the new company or C company they sell the shares and debentures of a company, and by selling that they collect money from the public. So here they act as an underwriter. They become the underwriter here. Thus, business houses and manufacturers can get fixed capital with the aid of banks. So there are banks known as industrial banks which assist the formation of new companies and new industrial enterprise and give long-term loans to manufacturers also. Now what we can say is the banking system can create money. Here, remember when again always what we have to do is business business is to be established with the concept of expansion. Either there must be vertical growth or there can be horizontal growth. Expansion means any kind, any way you can do. Because here if you depend on single product or without the growth, there will not be any life for the business. That's why nowadays if you become the farmer or the entrepreneur, have or go for multiple products or multiple crops. If one is not here giving profit to you, another product will give you. So you will be compensated by the, if you are suffering from loss by one product, you will be compensated by the other products. So always you have to go for multiple products or multiple crops. So it depends on the type of activity. So more money is needed for the expansion, for the exchange of transactions and all this. In the legal tender money of a country cannot be usually expanded quickly. So legal tender money, what we have now, currency and coins, easily cannot be expanded as and when we want. You may be thinking it is only mere paper currency, but for every issue of paper currency, this issue must be backed by either the gold deposit or foreign exchange. So to issue any currency, there must be a gold deposit in the central bank, or any foreign exchange deposit must be in the central bank. So that must be there, no? So without that, currency cannot be issued. So maybe in India it is not 100% secured. Our money system is minimum fiduciary system. That's why our money doesn't have value in the other countries. Anyhow, quickly money cannot be expanded. Issue of money cannot be expanded, remember? So bank money can be increased quickly. Bank money, yeah, demand draft, checks and all these can be increased quickly and can be used when there is a need for money. In a developing company, economy, sorry, not company, in developing economy like India, banks play a very important role as a supplier of money. Remember, it acts as a supplier of money. The banking system facilitates again the supplier of money, and it helps for the growth of the economy. Then what we can say is next, the banking system facilitates internal and international trade. A large part of trade is done on credit nowadays. If you depend on only cash transactions, business will not be successful. So, because here, always people, if you want to do transaction only on cash basis, people postpone the purchase. When they postpone the purchase, then show here there will not be any guarantee of purchase. That's why whenever people think of purchasing the product, then only they have to purchase. Then there will be market for the product. That's why nowadays you can see all the showrooms, all the big companies and all this, they are selling even household product also selling on credit basis. Even EMI will be there, installment basis they are selling. You can see some Pi International, Harsha showroom and all this. Or in even household goods also we can, being a salaried employee, we can purchase on EMI basis. Every month we have to pay, we have to pay every month, and now we can purchase like this. This is nothing but somewhat credit basis, some to some extent, to some interest they charge. Anyhow, this facility is there. That's why what we can say is now we cannot sell only on cash basis, we have to depend on credit basis also. In that case, bank provide reference and guarantees. Reference and even bank houses also, house also comes. Housing loan banks gives. It gives here, sometimes it gives guarantee to it, acts as a guarantor also. Then on behalf of the customer, it acts as a guarantor, and it gives reference also. Because our credit worthiness is very important. What role we play? So credit score, even banks, if you want to borrow loans and all this, they see our credit scores. That is also very important. On the basis of the bank reference and guarantees, sellers can supply goods on credit to the customers. This is particularly important in international trade, where the parties reside in different countries and are very often unknown to one another. Right? Trade is also assisted by the here grant of loans by discounting bill of exchange. Bill of exchange meaning already I explained you, and in other ways also. Foreign exchange transactions, that is the exchange of one currency for another, are also done through the banks. Right? So how it helps the internal as well as international trade. Then again, what we can say, banks act as advisors, counselors, and agents of business and industrial organizations. They help the development of trade and industry. So there are some special type of banks which provide facilities to different kinds of economic activities. Various activities it helps. Nowadays, in every country, there is a central bank which controls the activities of all other banks. Otherwise, banks, every banks would have had their own rules and regulations. But here, because of the central banks, every banks are enjoying same rules and regulations. So uh, this helps the economic here to keep the price level steady and control the rates of foreign exchange. So what you can see here, every it advises, and so many times if you go to banks to get some advice, they act as an advisor there. They make the counseling also, and on behalf of the business, it buys and sell also. It provides for transactions. It provides for foreign exchange currencies, exchange of foreign currency also. So many activities it does. That's why what we can say here is banks act as advisors, counselors, and agents of business and industrial organizations. Even all these here banks activities and help leads to the development of trade and industry in a particular nations. Okay, this much we have discussed. Other thing, see, this is the end of second chapter. We'll meet in the meet with the next chapter in the next video. Okay, until then, just you go through the write the notes. Be prepared for the third, sorry, first as well as second semester examination, and be easy. See, you feel that you are in the college only, even though you are at home. Don't waste your time. You be involved with the reading and writing. Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll see in the next class.